The situation of rabies in Poland is now much better, but 10, 15 years ago, the incidence of rabies was quite high in our country. And as it is a very important disease, so my interest in rabies is because of that. As I told, the situation now is much better, but still we have rabies cases. Last year, for instance, more than 100 rabies cases were in Poland, most of them among wild animals, mostly foxes. But it is a danger for domestic animals and for humans. Since about more than 10 years, foxes are vaccinated regularly, orally, by a vaccine dispersed from airplanes twice a year, and it is a very effective vaccination, and that's why the incidence of rabies is dropping now. The biggest challenge is the vaccination of animals, because rabies is a totally preventable disease. So that means there is a very, very effective vaccine for animals and for humans. And the biggest challenge is to vaccinate the animals, also domestic animals, because domestic animals in Europe, that means dogs and cats, are transmitting rabies from wild animals, from the red foxes, to human beings. And vaccination of animals, of domestic animals, is very important to control this. In East European countries, the incidence of rabies is still very high, because there is no money for vaccination of foxes. And behind the Polish border, I mean the eastern border, the incidence of rabies cases among animals is very high. And foxes are coming over the borders. It is a problem. In winter time, it is not a problem for a fox to go over ice. And during summertime, foxes can use bridges as well. So it is not a problem. There are no borders for foxes. And that's why, in spite of vaccinating foxes, still there are some rabies cases in Poland also. There are details about vaccination of cats, what is a very important thing, as I told. That means when to vaccinate and how to vaccinate, how often to vaccinate. It is the very important thing. And besides this, there are also there's also detailed described the risk factors and the ways of spreading of rabies, and clinical also course of this disease, and the other very important items connected with control of this disease.